You see.
Okay. I think we're live, are we? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Our mayor is on a phone call right now, and we're not really sure how long that's going to take. So we're going to start the meeting as per our rules of procedure, and I will call this meeting to order at 12:15. We respectfully acknowledge the town of Stephenville as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, item 3 is an approval of the agenda. Be it resolved to approve the agenda for July 10th, 2025 as presented. Moved by Councillor Roberts, seconded by Councillor Hines, and all in favor? Aye. Carried, and our mayor has returned. I'm going to pass him the gavel symbolically.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. Welcome to council. Apologize, I had to take a business call for being a couple of minutes late. To welcome our staff members also. So we opened the meeting, I understand, and have we done the
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the minutes of June 19, our previous meeting, 2025, public meeting of council be approved. I ask a member of council to move. Moved by Councillor Myra White, second. Second, Councillor Elward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carried. Any matters arising from those minutes? Here, no matters arising. We will move on to 6 proclamations and delegations. I see no action in front of me for that, so we'll move right into item number 7. I'll turn it over to our Chair of Finance, Councillor Myra White, for 7.1.
7.1 accounts payable. Be it resolved to approve accounts payable for July the 10th, 2025 in the amount of $776,164.41. I saw.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Dan Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.2 expense checks, June 2025. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville approve expense checks for the month of June 2025 totaling $284,463.44. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Dan Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.3 business tax. Be it resolved to approve business tax write-offs in the amount of $1,893.73. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second by Councillor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.4 remission of tax. Be it resolved to approve remission of tax in the amount of $1,079.47. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Darren Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.5 property tax adjustments. It was the recommendation of the committee to approve property tax adjustments in the amount of $1,400. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second. Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.6 community grant program approvals. 6.1 Bay St. George Disc Golf Association. Be it resolved that the town council approve community grant to the Bay St. George Disc Golf Association in the amount of $3,112.14 for course navigation improvements. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Darren Roberts. I'd just like to speak on that one just for a minute before I call the vote. Very proud to say that Stephenville was the first town and Newfoundland Labrador to build the first disc golf course. It was a lower level course. And then we built a second course next to the town office, which was an intermediate course level. And then the final course, so we have three, is a world-class professional high-level disc golf course located at the Whaleback Ski Club. Great location as it blends winter activities, summer activities, and creates higher sustainability for that site. But I have to give credit to the champion, Mr. Darrell Chip, who was the champion to get this going in Stephenville, who is now ranked as a world ranking of level. And maybe at some point in time, Stephenville could be on the list to hold the Canadian Nationals. That would be the goal. And maybe that's something we could start working on with some communications with the association. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Under the accounts payable, item number 7-4.6. Number 2. 6-2, sorry. Bay St. George Soccer Club. Be it resolved that the town council approve community grant to Bay St. George Soccer Club in the amount of $312.36 to purchase materials to build benches or something.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second Councillor Laurie Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
7.6-3, Bay St. George Baseball. Be resolved that the town council approve community grant to Bay St. George Baseball in the amount of $9,503.73 to purchase materials to build 10-by-12 shed and portable pitching mound for the Philip Parsons Memorial Field. Both items will remain at the field and property of the town of Stephenville for future users. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Morrison. I just want to say, I believe it's in August 2nd, we're holding the provincial championships for under 15 baseball. First week of August?
First week of August, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's nice to be building additional capacity at that site. And as we move forward, I know we have talked about expanding on the site where the dome is for additional washroom facilities and stuff like that. That's one of the things that has to be looked at, your functionality, your ability to have service levels. So even this enhancement is going to benefit that site and benefit the users of the tournament. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
Item number 7.7, the YMCA switchover project approval. Be resolved that the town council of Stephenville sign a contribution agreement for the Climate Change Challenge Fund, CCCF, for fuel switching project YMCA facility. The town of Stephenville agrees to provide contribution in the amount of $1,352.57 net HST rebate and the provincial contribution totaling $600,644.91. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second. Deputy Mayor Susan Pello. I'm wondering,
A bit of an explanation on that story.
Yeah, so we are seeking other funds to support to avoid us having to have the full cost of $1 million. We also are in receipt of a program approval from the Government of Canada for the facility, which is being worked on and is under an RFP currently. So this particular program, along with the other, we are negotiating with potential bidders as well as try to pull all this together in a fashion that will provide the least amount of cost for the town in the capital side. Additionally, the town will realize by design approximately 45% improvement in the overall operating costs for the facility as it go forward. So we're looking at, even though we're accepting and approving these, we are looking at the sustainability of the whole program for the YMCA. The building is a solid building in good shape generally. The mechanical outfitting and the heating and that stuff is the part that needs to be fixed, and it needs to be made more energy efficient. So that's part of what we know we're going to cut our operating costs. We're also getting the greenhouse gas improvement by the fuel switching, and tying it all together is going to take a bit of work. So management is thoroughly engaged with the bidders, as well as both the federal group who we're looking at doing some scope change in the middle of it all, but it has to be specified scope change to facilitate this new money that's been approved by the province. So that's what we're up to, and we think we can definitely lower this $1 million net. And of course, any decision on what we finalize with it will come back to council as well.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
That was the last item on the agenda.
Nothing late for finance? Okay, so I'll turn it over to our Chair of Planning and Development, Councillor Laurie Elwood.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First item is discretionary approval, 45-49 Queen Street. Be it resolved to approve permit to renovate existing dwelling into 6 affordable housing unit located at 43-45 Queen Street in accordance with Development Regulation Article 11, discretionary powers of the town. Is it should be 45, not 43. Oh, sorry. Well, okay, thanks, Jennifer. Okay, be it resolved to approve permit to renovate existing dwelling into 6 affordable housing units located at 45-49. That's right, Jennifer?
It is.
Yes, okay. Queen Street, in accordance with Development Regulation Article 11, discretionary power of the town. Is that the one in I so move? Is that the one in okay, I so move, and I'll get a seconder.
Moved by
Second.
Second Deputy Mayor Susan Fowler. Question?
Yeah, is that the across the street from the seniors club of Queen Street down below there? Is that the land there? Matt, you know?
Right next to A&W.
Yeah.
It's the land immediately adjacent to the A&W restaurant.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, thanks, yeah. Okay, now we can,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
municipal election 2025, Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, the town of Stephenville will hold municipal election from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the St. Stephen Center, 82 West Street. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Elwood, second by Councillor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
Returning officer, be it resolved that the town of Stephenville, as per section 13 of the Municipal Elections Act, appoint the town clerk Jennifer Bray as returning officer for the October 2nd, 2025 municipal election. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Elwood, second. Second, Councillor Myra White. All in favor? Carry.
Alternate returning officer. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville, as per section 13 of the Municipal Elections Act, appoint Chief Administrator Officer Bill Ramsey as alternate returning officer in the event the town clerk is unable to perform duties for October 2nd, 2025 municipal election. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Elwood, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Maurice Hines. Favor?
Aye.
Carry.
Nomination day. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville, as per section 14 of the Municipal Elections Act, designate Thursday, September 4th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. as a nomination day for the October 2nd, 2025 municipal election at the town hall. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Elwood, second.
Second.
Second, Counselor Darren Roberts, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Advanced polls, be it resolved that the town of Stephenville, as per section 26 of the Municipal Elections Act, designate Thursday, September 18th, 2025, from 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for advanced poll day for the October 2nd, 2025 municipal election at the St. Stephen Center, 82 West Street. I so move.
Moved by Counselor Laura Elbert, second.
Second.
Second, Counselor Darren Roberts, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Number 3 here says increase speed limit. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville Council pursuant to section 18 A, 18, is that one?
189.
1A, is it?
189.
Section 180.
Oh, 189, yes, yes. Here's one eye that telling me the right number here. Section 189, 1A of the Highway Traffic Act, Chapter H-3, increase the speed limit to 60 kilometers per hour at the intersection of Utah Drive and Carolina Avenue to Route 490. I so move.
Moved by Counselor Laura Elbert, second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Um,
Counselor Martin?
just a point, I guess, for people like me who don't know the names of some of the streets, even though I grew up here, that's the ramp.
Ramp.
Yes. And
Right.
maybe just to add, is that it used to be 60 before, it got dropped down to 40. It's a wide open area, children, it's phenomenal visibility. To me, it makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. They're going anyway. They're doing it anyway, right? Anyway, amendment to Schedule A, be it resolved to amend Schedule A of the town of Stephenville's motorized snow and vehicles and all-terrain vehicles regulations.
Okay, so
This is a map that's been distributed to Counselor.
Yes.
Yes.
The revision, and normally the act doesn't need to change. It may change next time if there is an update to the writing in any fashion, but this is the schedule which is referred to in the act. And so the act is already in, or sorry, the regulation that town has put in place has already been passed. And this is just an update to the map. It's been done in consultation with the RCMP, I understand that.
Yeah.
And the also the ATV organization that had some input into it as well.
I think they did have, not really, I guess.
No.
It was the additional routes, just, it's just to include Rizzoli's Inn
Okay.
and the gas station.
Can you describe the change so people know?
Yeah, so the change is, if you're looking down for Queen Street, so it allows you to come from the Cana Hotel down Queen Street to the Orange Store. Because where the gas station at Kenny Mines is no longer out there, so that was a revision there. The other one is coming off of Carolina, which is an existing route, which used to actually go to what appears to be the Acadian. But we just added the side route coming down Carolina, so they can get to Lewis End.
Thank you.
No second. Oh, a second.
second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. Okay, enough discussion, you got a question?
I had a question, I guess, or comment more than that for some people. Just to make sure that everybody has a clear understanding of what this ATV route approval does and its intent, which my understanding is the intent is to allow ATVs that are using trail systems and so on, people who are traveling through on ATV trails to have access to hotels and particularly hotels, but also I guess a gas station if necessary. So it's intended to allow ATVs to come into your community and park and stay at our overnight or otherwise our hotels, right? It was never and is not intended that to suggest that we in Stephenville now have a free-for-all where anyone on a motorized vehicle, ATV or otherwise, can take any route in Stephenville and drive there. And I know that there are some issues and have been issues with a number of people who are driving all kinds of routes in Stephenville on ATVs, none of which are part of this approved system. We recognize that, and we do hear that from residents, and we are working towards how to try to mitigate some of that. However, as people know, we can't control everything, or you know, as fast as I am, I can't catch them. That's the reality of it. So I just wanted to point that out, that there's a purpose for these ATV routes, but us approving or not approving ATV routes is one issue. And another issue is ATVs in our community that are driving in places they shouldn't, right?
And also to bring it to people's attention that the times of operation for these routes too are just from May the 1st to November the 15th. So that's what we consider to be tourism season.
Right.
So only during those times are these ATV routes approved for travel with.
Yeah, I think that's important that
Yep.
we understand that.
Yep.
Okay, now the people who don't understand it, well, you know, that's gonna cause another issue. But I think we're gonna look at trying to enforce some of that policy, because I noticed that Main Street is definitely not a route, but over the last number of weeks, number of complaints, and I've seen vehicles going up and down Main Street and trying to play Evel Knievel if they can. And then when someone gets hurt and injured, everyone looks back and say, well, whose fault is it? It's the people who are not following the rules of the road. But I think that Bill may address this, that there's going to be some more, I guess, maybe policy and some more direction coming down.
Yeah, so just like to update if I can. So some of the things we have done, we have issued fines for use of motorized ATVs in off hours. That has happened a couple of times. And we hear residents' complaints about use of the ATVs and unlicensed ATVs as well, because anyone who's an appropriate user, a tourist or a local person who's using it to access trails, generally they have their unit insured, they have a license plate attached to it, and if they were stopped by the police on the route in question, they normally wouldn't have any issue. Then there are those who are breaching the law, and the RCMP has dealt with a number of these items as well. I did read a number of items recently that suggested that it was the Wild West out there, and the behavior of some of the those who are taking an unlicensed, say, dirt bike and running it up the Hanson Highway at 80 and 100 kilometers an hour is not an approved item at all. It's totally against both the regulation and also against the law as far as the Highway Traffic Act goes. So we are doing everything we can to try to enforce this. Our enforcement officer often has discussions with the parties because it's easy to identify most people in the community who are doing this. People know who they are. He visits them, he chats with them. We're trying to use whatever means we have, and if we don't get compliance with the regulations, then we will issue a ticket. And but we are trying to do it appropriately, and also there's upcoming meetings that have been arranged by the town of Stephenville as taking the initiative of meeting with other municipalities who are struggling with the exact same thing. So one of them is going ahead next week, and that will be a virtual meeting between all of the municipalities that are interested in the same issue to try to figure out means by which we can more effectively enforce for the benefit and safety of our residents. Okay.
Just another note on the ATV route. In addition to times of operation or dates, there's also a time. So no person shall operate an all-terrain vehicle before 7 a.m. no later than 10 p.m. So that's also part of the regulation. And hopefully, if this is not on our website, it will be.
It is.
It is, okay, good. So if you have questions or doubts or concerns, certainly look at the regulations on the website. Again, I've encouraged a few people over the past couple of weeks before you post questions or concerns on Facebook about things that are happening that are of a municipal concern. I would encourage you to go to the website under report a problem and post there first and get an answer from somebody who knows the answer. And then if you feel a need to share that answer on Facebook, that's great. But sometimes we ask a question and we get a whole bunch of answers and it creates an issue where there perhaps isn't one.
And just on the positive side, from where I live, I've seen people come in the all-terrain vehicles, 5, 6 at a time, go to the gas stations, stay at the hotel, motel. And that's the whole idea of why we developed that. And that part is working. And you can see that they follow the rules, they take the route, and you're contributing to the economy of the town.
And I would appreciate that they didn't drive their motorized vehicles through the park. It's being done all day, all evening, it doesn't matter, and then they go through the pavilion just to make it better.
Yeah.
Jump up over it.
We've also, to Councillor White, we have responded and we've also had the municipal enforcement attempt to stop those who are doing that, follow them to their residence to, to basically explain to them that it's not allowed and that they should not do it any further. However, very difficult to catch someone in the act. We could go towards having tickets written for that activity because that's destruction of property generally, to run them in the park, so.
Yeah, and as this file develops over time, there's many places in Canada, many places in Europe, and a lot of the side-by-side, full-size, Meyer calls them full-size, there's bigger motorcycles, bigger than some small cars. They are now equipped with signal lights. So it could come and evolve that should somebody have proof of insurance, have an inspection done that they have signal lights, they would probably require a permit from Stephenville annually, so that they could take their ATV, and if they had to go down to the convenience store and buy a quart of milk, they can do it. But there'd have to be some work on that.
That hasn't been done yet, though, just to suggest it now, that is not the case currently. And it could evolve to that.
Yeah.
Just to be careful, because someone said that is currently not the act.
And
So,
the thing is, that's something that could evolve in time as this file develops. Because it is, and even from an affordability perspective, and we talk about everything from affordability from home, food. Let me tell you one thing, running vehicles with insurance, maintenance and gas is a lot of money. And I know some families that are down to one vehicle because having 2 licensed vehicles is very, very costly on a family unit. That should somebody have, and the act changed that it could be permitted, that you had a license, approved license plate, signal lights that you could leave your resident and go pick something up. Actually saves families money. So I'm just saying, it's not there yet. It may come. Okay, so we had it read out. Did we have a seconder, Jennifer? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
The last item, number 9, bylaws, regulations, policy, rules of procedure bylaw, be it resolved that the town of Stephenville council approve the mandatory bylaw, rules of procedure bylaw for town council meetings as per towns and local service districts, Article 7. 1, A. I,
So
what did I say?
So moved.
Yeah. You're gone past the planning too.
appropriate as a chair to say so. Just trying to be.
Now, Mr. Ingrid, you're gone right on.
Yeah.
Chairing the whole
I
meeting.
gotta go over that again because I'm mad now at myself. Be it resolved that the town of Stevens Council approve mandatory bylaw, rules of procedure, bylaw for town council meeting as per towns and local service district, Article 7, period, 1A. I so moved.
Second, Councilor Maurice. Just for a little clarity, the municipal act has made amendments and changes come January 1. This is basically the fundamentals of rules of procedure for conducting our public and all of our public meetings are public, planning, finance, special meetings. The only ones not public are our privileged meetings. And it just sets down the rules and procedures for all council to understand their abilities to defer a motion, ask for adjournment. It is a lengthy document. You really have to read it many times, so the whole bit.
It's very minimal changes. And
Yeah.
more process.
Yeah. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry. Okay,
It's, all I've got here today.
okay, nothing late for planning. Good, good discussion. everybody.
I have a new business item when we
Yeah.
get there.
So, I'll go to item number 10, any unfinished business before we go into new business? Okay, on that note, no commentary. I'll open the floor for any new business.
So there are a number of items which we are working on, management team is working on, and I want to get council's concurrence for the following, and my apologies for not including it in the agenda, but these are items that will be brought back to council based on the results of the activities that we are putting forward. One is, we are going to issue RFPs or EOIs in each case. One is the waste collection RFP. Our waste collection contract was up 2 years ago. And it's now, so we've been operating under the old contract pricing. The majority of the communities in the area have already gone through either RFP or agreement, LSDs as well. And so we have a need to put out this waste collection RFP. The results of that RFP will be brought back to council for a potential contract. Similarly, we are going to issue an RFP for janitorial services, for janitorial that's done by outside contractors for our council buildings that they look after. Number 3 is we are working on, and council has been informed of this prior, but we want to work towards issuing an RFP for a Newfoundland Labrador Health Services Support Initiative that was already discussed. That's all I will talk about, that particular piece. That is one that we will also issue. It may be in the form of an EOI. We're working on the legality and how to go about that. But that one will also be prepared and ready for either direct to market or direct to parties in whatever fashion in meeting the full requirements of the Public Procurement Act. The next one is, and you may have questions on any or all of these, but I'll like I say, I'm seeking concurrence. The things will be brought back. The paper shed, which we have it vacated as of June 30th, and we are planning to go forward with an RFP for lease or sale of that property, and it may be in the EOI, depends. We do have and have had interested parties in the past, so we'd want to explore that a bit and again along those same lines. And the other one is up in 2026. I just wanted to make council aware that we are seeking concurrence to potentially go out to market for our internet, phone, and electronic services in support of the town, because that one is up, I think, in February or March of 2026. So you got to have it ready to go for that time period. And, you know, there's other providers out there now who, at one time there was one provider, and then there was two, and now there's a half a dozen. So, you know, we have potential options there. So anyway, those are the items that I'd like to, if we could put that in the form of a seeking council's concurrence to proceed, because really they're all subject to a future decision of council. So anyway, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
inform.
so I guess we could move that we would give direction of management to proceed with the RFPs, ROIs in compliance with the Newfoundland Procurement Act.
Yeah, public
To
procurement.
proceed on the 5 agenda items cited.
Yeah.
Sound good?
That's what we're seeing.
Got-
Someone want to move that?
Move.
Moved by Councillor Darren Roberts.
Second.
By Councillor Maurice Hines, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Maurice,
Okay,
anything like?
anything else?
Yeah. I think, maybe we should, get an update from Newfoundland Health, Western Health, on what's going on with our recruitment. And, what's going on, you know, the doctors that coming and going, and an update on issues that we
And the
have.
new medical clinic, when that's
The
gonna,
new medical clinic, when it's gonna be opened, that type thing. So if we get an update from them, maybe someone Candace could send off a note to Tara and see when she can be available.
and
As
maybe,
soon, right, like, as soon as we can, like before the end of
it
the
might be a good idea, like the hour before our next planning or finance meeting, so at least you know you've got bodies coming.
yeah,
That sound good?
yeah, because it's, I know that, you know, there's things going on. And sometimes we're not made aware of them, and it's nice to get an update every 3 months or so. See what's going on with the healthcare, because I know that there's still an issue, a lot of things, people trying to get doctors and family doctors, and that's still an issue when it comes to our citizens. You know, there's a lot of people out there still with no family doctors.
And I gotta say, with the new medical clinic coming, I truly believe a new facility will help retain and attract. That always helps. But I have to give credit too, because now the Bay St. George Medical Clinic, anybody assigned to nurse practitioners or general physicians in that facility, they have walk-in clinics also, which really benefits our public. And that's a big step forward. We never had that before.
No,
So I gotta say, the modeling of the collaborative care clinics, but we have to be steadfast and be champions to drive enhanced services in Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital, and the suite of services that support them. So good idea to bring up the meeting and get.
Yeah.
Especially young surgeons, we haven't got a surgeon now.
pardon?
We gotta look at surgeons too, because we haven't got a surgeon now.
Yeah, well, our surgeon, yeah, that's another story.
We haven't got a surgeon.
No, I mean, you can't, until we have one here, located here,
That's right.
I'm saying we have no surgeon. He's in Corner Brook, and a lot of things can happen between Port aux Basques and Corner Brook. We've got no surgeon here.
We'll definitely have that on the agenda.
But what I would like you to do, Candace, if you may, if I may ask, check with Tara like today to see if she can get an answer of, are they paying bonuses now for doctors that come to work here like they did with the ER doctors? We're paying them $100,000 a year to come. Because I have I have 2 doctors on the hook out in the States, and I don't know if I can talk them into it. You never know. If I said to them, I did say to them, would you come if there is, now they got jobs over there. I don't know if they'll come, but I mean, one of them, well, her mother is a Newfoundlander, right? But the thing is, they may not come, but the thing is, if I could say to them, well, yes, now if you come for a year or 2 years, you will get $100,000, you know, above your salary, besides your salary. So I don't know. That's why I'd like to find out ASAP, right?
What incentives exist?
Yeah, what the incentives are, and if there's any from the provincial government as well, because I do know that there's been some. And it's just a question mark as to how many that they've done it for, and are they gonna still do it? So, and I guess that, and the mammogram is still an issue, I think, too. We were supposed to have a technologist here, but up to a few months ago, I guess, they still didn't have one. So that's an issue, a big issue too, among others. There's many, many issues, you know. But, and as this, I would be thankful to say that the staff that we do have on site are doing their very best to do the best they can with what they have. And I know that there's this nursing shortage, and the nurses are going through a lot of stress as well. And the things that went on, you know, lately with government, things like that. So I think that it would be nice for us to at least say that we appreciate what they do at our hospital, from environmental service right through to nursing, doctors, all of staff. They're all doing the very best that they can, and trying to get things done and trying to help in every way that they can.
Okay, I just got two quick things for myself. First of all, I got to give a lot of credit to our Public Works Engineering Department of the work that they're doing along with marine contracting. I've been receiving some very positive comments from businesses on Main Street, plus residents of Rose Avenue, about how accommodating Marine and our Public Works have been to solve any small little issues around inconvenience of major water and sewer projects. And so I just want to pass that out. That's really good news. The other thing I guess I want to ask management too is there is plan to do the second cap of Main Street in this fiscal year. Will we complete the line painting on Main Street before the second cap, or we'll wait till the second cap goes on? Might be something.
We'll have to wait project completion first
Yeah.
to see what timeline is on the second
Yes,
half.
before a
and
decision.
determine if it's,
Yeah.
if the time means that we should leave it or we should paint it and then
Yeah,
paint, because painting and paving over is a common theme for people who say they don't know what they're doing.
yeah,
When in fact, if you have to do it, you have to do it.
yes.
So
So we'll
we
work.
don't see the timeline based on what we get as reports upon completion of the total the downtown project with the first cap.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention, our contractor for line painting, I know there's still work has to be done in town. I guess they're probably timing to make a determination what's going to happen with Main Street, but the golf course needs to be. I was down there this morning, and it's going down the Middleport Harmon Road. We did talk about additional bike lanes on Bruce and Gillis, I believe. Wide, a lot of children on bicycles on those roads, not Gillis, Fallow and Bruce, the two wide roads.
Yeah.
There, and so that's something that if we could keep a track on. I did notice we've been doing some good work on patching, and but there's one little spot up by the new medical clinic that might be on the list to be done. The road's in really rough shape, a little small section. And the last thing I wanted to mention is whether it's in the act or whether we have authority as a council to have a policy. That's something I'd like for management to ask municipal affairs or council, but I truly believe, because I just had to do a torch relay for the Canada Games. And in doing that, I had to get vulnerable sector check code of conduct completed, just to carry that torch. For somebody or any individual who's a citizen of 18 years old in Stephenville, have their taxes paid, maybe somebody who's listening online today, interested. But to me, I believe anybody that should sit on council in this province, in particular Stephenville or any other council, and it's probably, there's nothing in the act that a code of conduct of vulnerable sector checks should be a prerequisite. That's just my thoughts. Now, whether it's compliance and in the act is probably not there, but even if we could find out.
Currently, the prerequisites are related only to having your municipal taxes paid and being a resident of the community. I don't think there were any others.
Nothing else.
So there's nothing else that precludes a person from running for council. Politics, in the nature of being in politics, is that if there are any public issues related to an individual, that of course they bring forward, you know, as a conflict or as something that has to be dealt with by the public during the election process. So the only two pieces are having your municipal taxes fully paid and also being a bona fide resident of the community. The other expansion of that is the town has now a bylaw related to unpaid property taxes, that and any outstanding fees to the town will now be collected, and we don't, it's a non-discretionary piece, and we are preparing internally. So a lot of people will be getting notices that if they have unpaid property tax, that they have to come in and make arrangements to do so that is satisfactory. But generally, if a person is under a repayment process, they're not eligible for council.
Okay.
So that's a key part that was given to us in the instructions from municipal affairs as a part of our training.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that I would encourage young people to put their name forward in this election that's coming up. And put your name forward because with the intent that you're going to respect your co-council people and people in general, and not get on council because you've got something going on or vendetta or whatever, because you don't know. But there's not, in my opinion, there's not enough younger people like in their 30s and 40s that are coming up for council. And if things keep going the way they are, you're not going to have too many people wanting to go run for municipal councils or any political job, as far as I'm concerned, because there's too much out there, too much harassment. You can't do anything right. Everything is wrong. Everything you did is wrong. And having been a mother of a politician provincially for 18 years, I can tell you stories, and I tell you, some of them are not that great. And I think it's time that people realize that it doesn't matter what stripe you are, it can be rhinoceros for that matter. You have to treat other political people, doesn't matter what color or whatever, with respect. And I find that's gone down the drain too. But I really would like to see more younger people, because they've got the young, smart minds. And they can certainly, you know, give us, would be an asset for us to have some younger people. And I can't say too much about having more women. We could have more, but I'm pleased to say we did have a good slate this last term that but I got to say this last term in my 8 elections, it's been one of the worst ones when it comes to social media. I haven't seen the like ever in my life. They go on there and the stuff that they say is slanderous. So, and I've loved being on council, and I've loved the people, you know, that I've dealt with. And even if we had a little row or a little tiff or whatever at the table, I would always leave here talking to that person. So, you know, things like that, that's what's important to me. And you guys out there, girls, you put your name forward.
Good call for sure. And yeah, and just to echo that, I would certainly encourage anyone and everyone who feels invested in this community to either put your foot forward and take that step and join council, run for council, learn more about what council actually does, and how it operates. And if you're not ready to do that, then follow along, learn and see how it works, drop into some of the meetings, etc., and kind of build your confidence or your skill set a little more. And if you're not interested in doing that, or you don't feel invested in the community, then think about that before you hit your keyboard. I guess that's the big thing, right? I want to just mention too that the bit late on this, but of course, we're only meeting every 3 weeks now, or at least our public meetings every 3 weeks. So, but in mid-June, we held the Harmon Hustle again. And I just want to commend the organizers of that race. It's growing. They added a couple of new categories this year, which were for young runners. They ran a small race after the 5K race happened. They had their own races, and it was thrilling to watch. It really was. It was fun. I'm always impressed by how well organized these things are, and this Harmon Hustle is, again, we have some people now starting to recognize that it's a yearly thing. They're coming out to the event. It can only grow and get better. So kudos to the organizers. Congratulations to the people who took part, and a little challenge to the next council. Why don't we take part in the Harmon Hustle? Walk, crawl, drive your car. No, you can't drive your car. Wheelbarrow or run it.
I've got a
But,
small
distance. Yeah, exactly. We can run with the kids once around.
Downhill.
East Gym. But anyway, something to look forward to. We'll start our training with the new council.
Well, Susan, when I got on council first, we had to ride this bicycle
Yeah.
for a heart or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I never rode a bicycle in my life. I got knocked down by a bicycle, but. But anyway, before we go, the theater festival opening is the 18th.
Right, yes.
With the Elvis show, and congratulations to them on their season again. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Something else for the festival. And then there was the Dome thing today with the Billy Hines recognition for sports. And I thought I had another item, but I didn't mark it down. Anyway, the festival, I'm looking forward to that again. So let's hope they're going to have a successful year as before, which is good.
I just want to say too, how fortunate are we? 47 years of the longest serving professional theater company
Yeah,
in Newfoundland and Labrador.
and look what's happening in St. John's.
Yes, exactly. They're hopeful this year.
Yeah,
And, you know, it's a testimonial to the culture, the people, and the arts community. Also, I want to say that how many towns can say you have a professional theater group like the Steamboat Theater Festival opening an Elvis musical production, all shook up, next Friday night. If you don't have tickets, anybody listening, get them. But also had Elvis Presley in your town. How many people can say that?
no,
How
not,
many towns?
no,
Probably not.
no, you're
I'll
right.
say none.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that he was here.
Yeah.
On the Harmon
So,
Air Force Base.
you know, I tend to go to every show every year and astounded by the level of professionalism. And it is often said by the arts community across this country, people that go to Stevenor Festival is a primer for Broadway. We got something very distinctive, very unique.
Yeah.
So kudos to the board of directors. I've met some of the actors and actresses already. Can't wait to see them perform on stage, and anybody gets a chance to attend, take in as much as you can.
And their new artistic director seems
Yes.
like she got all kinds of energy.
Oh, she's a tough one.
Laura, yeah.
Laura loves her dog.
Oh my God, she had a twin of my dog there when the dogs met. Honest to God, I just got to.
So on that note, I want to thank anybody else.
We can't, we got to make the most.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a
I
filibuster.
move.
Some food.
Okay.
Actually, Council Brian couldn't attend today. I'd ask, moved by Council Laura, second. Second. Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
It's 9 PM on this beautiful sunny day in Stevens. I want to thank the 10
You
attendees.
guys stay for.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Darren, we need to stay.